It's your boy Goku. And this song goes out to all my Chi-Chis. I want y'all to get on the Nimbus and just throw that ass back. Like, Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. I was surprised when Gigi threw it back. I was like, damn. Look at that ass clap. I said go ahead, make that ass pop. You finna catch this Kamehameha. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. That booty made me turn Super Saiyan 5. Gigi threw it back and made my power level rise. I heard Frieza came back and he trying to fight. I would save the world, but I'm preoccupied. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for watching, hit the like,
Now, tragically obvious, that reasoning with the bitch is not gonna work, Tom. You have to hit her.
I'm an assistant district attorney, for Christ's sake.
Tom, you have to get past this.
It's okay, Faggot. Really?
See, Faggot, she just gave you permission.
Stop!
You see that? Bitch has no problem hitting you.
All right, lady. Okay, look out.
You're definitely allowed by law to hit her now, Tom. It's self-defense.
Okay?
Yes, Taboo, you are in rare form.
Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of Unrelent Gaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the dominoes. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Though I understand that you are currently in the fight of your life against the fifth strongest warrior in the entire multiverse, I'm afraid I can also feel danger that seems to be coming from your planet back on Earth. It would appear as though you weren't the only one who had been preparing themselves for battle, I'm afraid. And even though you are to remain here until this entire tournament is officially over, I do sure hope that those who are fighting on Earth can hold out until more help can arrive.
As our story continues back on Earth, with Cooler now being shown having to seemingly enough be impressed by Beast Gohan's power, as it now also looks as though Cooler is getting himself ready and revealing more of his own power to both Piccolo and Gohan. It was only upon Cooler now being shown having to do so where Cooler went on to respond, "And so I see that dealing with you as you are isn't going to be easy, and now as a reward for forcing my hand, allow me to gradually begin to show you the difference between our power and how doomed the two of you really are." Now watch closely, in which the second Cooler had now gone as far as to transform. That was when Orange Piccolo went on to chime in by responding, "Oh, what incredible power. It doesn't surprise me to know that this guy would also have a transformation just like his brother, but the power emanating from him is far above what I expected for him to be capable of. Well, whatever it is that we're in for," Beast Gohan chimes in, "we've got to make sure that whatever happens with Frieza's brother, we can't lose sight of Frieza while we deal with his brother first." As Orange Piccolo went on to respond, "Oh, whatever happens, don't hold anything back. Got it? Oh, and please tell me that you've kept up with your training since fighting those Gammas and Cell Max, or were you simply too busy studying your so-called Super Saiyan ants instead?" "No, I did what I could during my spare time," Gohan responds. "I mean, I didn't do what my dad and Vegeta did, but I made sure not to lack off as much, so I guess I'll be okay." To where lo and behold, the moment Cooler was now shown having to finally complete his transformation, it was just upon Cooler now being shown entering his final form where Cooler went on to address both Piccolo and Gohan by telling them, "I guess training with my brother certainly had its benefits, and so behold, little worms, what you are seeing now is my final form in its natural stage prior to any evolution that I may have added after this. And I can assure you that it'll be the last thing that you both will ever see before you die." But before we kick the fireworks off, Cooler continues, "I want to make sure that there is nothing that will get in our way as we fight, Saiyan. You will be the first of my victims since you're much stronger than the pathetic Namekian." As then they went along to then ask Frieza, "Wait a second, you trained him? But since when do you have the time to get your brother to become this strong?" "Oh, who said anything about only training Cooler to become stronger?" Frieza asks. "I too have grown more powerful through helping him, and so he isn't the only one to reach new levels of power." To which, as final form Cooler was now shown singling out Beast Gohan, it was only upon him having to now do so where Cooler went on to continue, "And to make sure that there is nothing and no one to stand in the way of the beating that you have coming courtesy of being Son Goku's offspring, let us eliminate the lowest common denominator among us to ensure that we have a proper fight then, shall we?" As before you know it, before anyone there could even register as to what Cooler had done, Cooler had now quickly taken initiative in targeting Orange Piccolo by being shown punching Piccolo in the face and telling him, "It was fun while it lasted, Piccolo, but what do you say you leave us be so that the Saiyan may die without you getting in the way to try and save him?" Cooler shouts. To where even with Orange Piccolo's body now shown flying out into the distance, that was when then they went on to shout, "Piccolo, no! What's his problem, Frieza?" "Hang on, Piccolo, I'm coming," Beast Gohan shouts. But then, it was before Gohan could even react and going as far as to save Piccolo, where Cooler went on to then ask, "And just where do you think you're running off to so quickly?" To where, fortunately enough, with Gohan shown having to block off Cooler's strike, that was when Cooler went on to continue, "Oh, you're pretty fast there, as I figured you would be. This form of yours is new, I assume, isn't it?" "Yes, interesting. Tell me, where exactly is your father and Vegeta hiding?" Cooler questions. "If anyone would know, it would be you, and so where are they? I promise we will leave if you tell us their location, Gohan." "Like hell I would tell you, even if I knew where they were," Gohan responds. "But if this is the kind of game that you want to try and play, then go ahead then and play, because you'd be crazy if you think I'd tell you or your brother anything. The two of you will already be long dead by the time my dad and Vegeta get here to find out what happened, so you can forget it." But then, it now appeared as though Cooler was not having any of Gohan's antics as Cooler went on to knee Gohan in the stomach by then telling him, "Oh, that's rich. I doubt that." Well, interesting as it may be, little green, Frieza responds. "It's better if you tell me what I want to know while your buddies still have heads on their shoulders," Frieza continues. "We didn't come here to pick the meat off the bones from weaklings. We came here for the main dish. Now go ahead then and show me what the son of the legendary Super Saiyan is made of," Cooler went on to tell Gohan, to where fortunately enough for Gohan, as he was quickly from there shown having to disappear right before Cooler had made his move, Gohan had from there immediately obliged by welcoming Cooler's offer and from there being shown having to now attack him as Frieza went on to chime in, "Oh, very impressive. So, Goku's son doesn't appear as though he's lost his touch during these times where you found peace. Though, I do want you to know that we've kept a very close eye on things that happened here, so seeing him achieve a new transformation such as the one he's using is, dare I say, a good thing. And of course, do you want to know why that is, Guardian? Well, because this now gives me and my brother the opportunity to make an example of that runt, since he appears to be one of Earth's strongest protectors, as that way it'll all make for Goku and Vegeta to fear once they come back and find his torn apart lifeless body lying on the ground as an omen for what awaits them." To where even with Cooler now quickly being shown having to back up and resulting in Gohan missing his punch, that was when Cooler went on to ask, "Not bad. What's wrong? Having a little trouble keeping up?" "Far from it, you freak," Gohan shouts. "Oh, how persistent of him," Frieza went on to add. "Reminds me of when we fought alongside one another during that stupid little tournament that was held by those childish little gods." "But why?" Frieza Dende asks. "You were given your life by Lord Beerus and we left you alone since then, so why come back and do it all again? Why would you come here knowing what will happen to you after everything we've been through?" With Frieza responding, "Why? Well, simple. Revenge, that's why. And I told those Saiyans that I would be back for them again one day, and so I have. Why would I stop here just because I was given a second chance, Guardian? You should know better, but just so we're clear, we aren't only going to be going after Goku and Vegeta. Oh no. Cooler and I have much bigger plans than just those two," to which as soon as we then see how Cooler was now shown catching Gohan's kick, it was just upon Cooler now shown having to elbow Gohan in the shin where Cooler went on to tell him, "What a rookie's mistake. I wonder if your bones are as hard as your stubborn little head. Shall we find out?" "Aw, damn you," Gohan shouts. To which within the moment, as soon as Gohan was now shown having to find his opening in blasting Cooler from point blank range, Dende was now seemingly more so curious by what Frieza said, as Dende went on to ask, "So then what is it? What is your ultimate goal that you had to come here for and get your revenge? If it's not just Goku and Vegeta, then what is it?" "My goal? Well, everything. To control and conquer every planet within every universe as its rightful Omni-God. That's what," Frieza responds. "It won't just stop with Earth. Oh no, 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 no. Goku and Vegeta will be the launching pad that kicks our ambitions into motion once they die." To which as Gohan was now shown clutching onto his leg, it was only behind the smoke where Cooler went on to address Gohan by asking, "You know, though I wasn't expecting for you to be this strong, I gotta admit that if I didn't train to push myself into becoming the strongest that I could possibly be, then I'm sure that my life would have ended long before your arrival by the hands of Piccolo," Cooler says. "And so I'm very glad to see that I am much more than I could have ever dreamed of being, and to your credit, that one actually hurt. A lot more than it should have, in fact. Well, you don't look to be doing so good. What's wrong? Is your leg about to give up on you? Care to try and see if you can pull that one on me again, Gohan? And I'm rather curious to see if you would be lucky enough to do what you just did to me again." As it was only just within that moment with Gohan now being shown having to erupt and powering up with absolute rage, he only from that point then attempted in blasting Cooler again, but only for Cooler to
See where Gohan messed up. He still don't take these fights seriously. He clearly knows that Cooler's holding back. So that means if you having a problem with him while you holding back, You're gonna have to fucking just knock him the fuck out while he's holding back.
To this time be shown having to move his head out of the way by telling Gohan, "No, it's just as I expected, you missed. And so now it's my turn to take you up for a little ride. Come now, monkey, let's continue to rip into this newly discovered form of yours." God, what the heck are you doing? To which the moment Cooler was now shown grabbing onto both of Gohan's legs and now shown taking him up in the air, Cooler's primary intent now was to grab onto Gohan and having to take him all the way up towards the stratosphere, and from that point then having to address Gohan by then telling him, "Oh, so you want me to let go then, huh? Okay then. So then let's just see how large of an impact your body is going to make onto the earth once I throw you down from the stratosphere. Try not to be what leads to the extinction of every human on earth from the impact of your collision below," Cooler shouts. To where as soon as Cooler was now shown throwing Gohan's body back down below, not only was Gohan's body shown having to slam its way through the lookout and heading its way back down below, but it was even just while this was now shown happening where Frieza went on to chime in, "Oh dear, such force behind that throw just now. Well, I hope my brother didn't overdo it, or we could be seeing the destruction of this entire planet come from one of your own being launched down onto the earth like an asteroid. But what do you think, Guardian? Was it too soon for my brother to destroy the earth?" To which, fortunately, from out of nowhere, with Orange Piccolo now shown grabbing onto Gohan and stabilizing his body, that was where Piccolo went on to shout, "Whoa there, I got you, kid, it's okay. You alright, Gohan? You can't just let him tag you around like that. Do you have a plan or something?" With Gohan responding, "He's really strong, Piccolo. He's nothing like I thought he'd be, but he's beatable. I baited him into attacking me and I saw it. Listen, this brother of Frieza seems to be relying more on sheer power than his speed, which means that there's a way to outmaneuver him and catch him when he isn't looking," Gohan says. "And so that's where I think I could really hurt him. So can you possibly go and buy me a bit of time to pull this off? It'll be a stretch because he isn't anything like Cell Max was, but I can try to see what I can do," Piccolo responds. In which, even then, shockingly enough, as both Piccolo and Gohan were shown having to have this conversation, it was only from out of nowhere from behind them now where Cooler went on to then address both of them by responding, "And what could the two of you possibly be whispering about that you've decided?"
He said, "No, I do have speed." Fucking Cooler.
To stop for a moment just to have a quick chat. I was already here waiting long before you caught the boy, but how did he? Oh, there's no way. Gohan now! In which, even despite Gohan and Piccolo being shown attacking Cooler at the exact same time, that was when Cooler was quickly shown grabbing onto both of their punches by responding, Now, what did I say about having you come in between my fight with the Saiyan, Namekian? And I thought I'd made myself very clear about keeping this a one-on-one fight. Scared of the outcome of what may happen to him?" Cooler questions. "Is that why you decided to stick your nose in my business with Goku's son? Well, okay then. Now, since you both don't seem to understand what it is that I am saying, then perhaps the best way in order to get through to the two of you is to show you the results of your miscalculated and foolish consequences in a way where you will both be able to easily understand. Right, Frieza?" "Indeed it is, Cooler. Indeed it is," Frieza chimes in. Perhaps this will be made clear for both of them to understand, with Dende responding, "Wait, hold on. What is your brother talking?" But then, before Dende could even finish his sentence, it was only shockingly enough from out of nowhere behind him, where we from that point then see how a death beam was shown having to go right through his body as Frieza went on to then tell Dende, "Hush now and play your part in all of this, little green. This ought to be enough to be a clear wake-up call to all those who refuse to give up the whereabouts of those puny god monkeys. Oh, how I've missed torturing your kind. It's been far too long since I was able to do that to one of you," Frieza continues. "And so I wonder which one of your little friends is going to try and save your life before you choke on your own blood and die. You should have given me what I was looking for rather than be so stubborn. Maybe then you would have been given the chance to to live a little longer than you did, as Piccolo went on to shout, "Oh no, Dende! Frieza, you monster! I'm coming, Dende! Don't die on us!" But then, Cooler was then shown having to quickly take initiative in slamming both Gohan and Piccolo's body against each other, as Cooler went on to comment, "You two aren't going to be helping anyone, so as long as I'm around to see to it that you don't. And you know what? Now that I think of it, why don't you leave me be with the Namekian, so then that way I could finish what he started before you came," Cooler chimes in. "Give me a moment, I'll be right back with you," to where as soon as Cooler was shown uppercutting Gohan in the stomach before knocking him back down, that was when Cooler was now shown having to redirect his focus in grabbing Piccolo by the throat by continuing, "And so now, where did you and I leave off on, Piccolo?" To where even then Piccolo was not shown having to go down without putting up a fight, because as soon as Piccolo was then shown having to punch Cooler in the face, even despite knowing the fact of Cooler being much more powerful than he was, that was when Piccolo went on to ask, "You cold-blooded monster, how could you? You and your rotten brother are going to pay for what you've done. Is that right? Humor me then, Namekian. And who exactly is going to make us pay for our actions? Certainly you don't think that it's going to be you who puts us down, right? Especially not with power like that, you won't. Me and my brother have trained long and hard for this very moment, and so you'd be dreaming if you'd honestly think that you will be the difference maker during this entire ordeal. You and all of your friends on this world will simply serve as warm-ups for my brother and I, until your little Saiyan friends finally decide to get here and save you." To where immediately following Cooler being shown having to headbutt Piccolo before cutting off his arm, it was just upon Cooler now being shown torturing Piccolo where Cooler went on to continue, "And since we have a bit of time to kill, we might as well start offing you worms one by one so that we can show your little monkey friends that we aren't here to take any prisoners either. I'm afraid that you and your buddies here are running out of time, Namekian, which the question then becomes, what are you going to do? Ah, that's right, I'm supposed to aim for the head if I want to keep you down permanently. I forgot," Cooler says. "Right, so long, Piccolo," to where then, it was just before Cooler was shown death beaming Piccolo through the skull, where from beneath him we then see how Beast Gohan was shown having to uppercut Cooler through the lookout by shouting, "Oh no, you won't!" Of course he would swoop in and save that Namekian from death, Frieza responds. They always tend to be there for one another. Yes, Cooler better not let this slip through his fingers, or then I will be forced to step in and take care of what should have already been dealt with. But now I'm starting to wonder if keeping them alive will serve us well in drawing those monkeys out of hiding. Let's see where this goes." As Gohan went on to then ask Piccolo, "You okay, Piccolo? That was a close one, but thankfully he wasn't able to see me coming from below." "Thanks, Gohan. It looks like your theory might hold a little bit of weight here, but if you haven't noticed, is it me or does it feel like he's getting stronger as he fights? We've got to watch the way we fight this guy, because if he's able to slowly get stronger as he fights, then we're in deep trouble," with Gohan responding, "Yeah, I figured when I was brawling with him earlier, but I'm going after him, so keep your eye out on Frieza in the meantime," Gohan says, to which as Gohan was now shown taking his leave, that was when
Let's see if this will load while we wait. Wait. Oh, is that why we having problems? 4 of those are open. Close. Here we go.
Orange Piccolo had gone as far as to notice something very unusual by saying to himself, "Oh, there is something extremely off about this entire situation, but I can't seem to put my finger on what exactly it is that's different. Gohan alone should have been more than enough for that monster to handle, but yet somehow he is fighting back. And seemingly with ease," Piccolo continues, "almost as though he's used to this or something. And with Frieza appearing very relaxed after seeing Gohan's power too, this only just goes as far as to confirm my suspicions. They must have trained themselves before coming here, and a lot too, Piccolo adds. Oh, we've got to destroy Frieza's brother as soon as we have the chance to, because I'm more than sure that this isn't his final form, and so if it's not, then without Goku and Vegeta here to help us, oh, then we don't stand a chance, Piccolo says. We have to keep pushing him back until something changes in our favor. Oh, and I can only hope that it's not too late when we do, as all the while in the meantime back on Beerus' planet, it would only now appear as though throughout this entire time, as this battle was being waged on Earth, that Vegeta this entire time was still being shown continuing his training with Beerus, as Beerus went on to oversee Vegeta while standing above him by responding, "Good, keep going, your body is stronger than it's ever been before, and so I want you to do 5 million more before we move on to the next challenge, and so I expect you to do it with no breaks either." But then, it was just upon Vegeta now being shown having to do one-finger push-ups where all of a sudden Vegeta had gone as far as to sense something that had even now gone as far as to influence his concentration, as Vegeta had then went on to say to himself, "Whoa, what's that massive energy that I'm sensing? I can feel several large power levels, and they're all coming from Earth, but why? What's going on?" Vegeta asks. But of course, I knew it. I can sense Frieza's power on Earth, and he appears to be with someone else as well. Oh, someone just as strong, maybe stronger, Vegeta continues, but why? Oh, something's wrong. There is a fight taking place at this exact moment. I've got to find out what's happening out there, because if what I sense is accurate, oh, then there's no way that Gohan or anyone else will last much longer out there. Are you listening to what it is that I am telling you, Vegeta, or what? Beerus went on to lean in. Your concentration's been broken again by something, so now what happened? Am I boring you here, Vegeta? Are you not interested in further developing your power here, or what? Cough it up, with Vegeta responding, no, Lord Beerus. There was something in my eye just now, but it's gone, so I'll focus. My apologies. I've got to hurry it up and finish what I have going on here so that I may return to Earth as quickly as I could. Oh, I knew I sensed Frieza's energy before, Vegeta continues, and I just knew that in my gut he was up to something, and I was right. Oh, and to have Gohan be pushed into using that beast form should say enough about what's happening. I've got to hurry it up because they won't be able to hold out much longer without me, as it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the top 5 strongest warriors in the multiverse manga chapter number 34 special then comes to a close. Now, the situation on Earth doesn't seem to be favoring our heroes at all, as even Vegeta himself now is beginning to sense this all the way from Beerus' planet, and so even Vegeta himself now, while he is training, is beginning to acknowledge the threat level that both Frieza and this mysterious person that he had brought to Earth now pose, in which as it now looks as though it's up to Vegeta to do something about what is going on Earth since Goku is currently busy. I cannot wait to show you guys how all of these events are about to transpire, especially with what's coming in the upcoming episode, which is that of manga chapter number 35, which will of course be made available to all of my Patreons on Patreon first. So if you do want to go on ahead and support the channel as well as also gain tons of exclusives, then I do encourage you all to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/unrealendgaming. The links to that will be located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well. As a huge thank you goes out to all of the current existing Patreon members that are on Patreon right now who have also got a glimpse of Goku's upcoming form, where if you've paid close enough attention to everything that's happened thus far within the story, then you kind of already know what is to be expected, especially when transitioning from chapter 35 into chapter 36, because only then will Whis' training finally pay off for Goku in what I would consider to be a very glorious and spectacular moment, especially for Goku. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, thank you all so much for your support and for your patience, to where as always, if you also just so happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more, and with all that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy everybody and have a great day. Peace!
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Do you know that in Iron Man 2, Tony Stark upgrades to a portable briefcase suit after struggling to put on and take off the armor in Iron Man because Tony learns from his mistakes? Did you know that in the Avengers, Tony Stark recharges his suit with Thor's lightning after Whiplash damages him with electrified whips in Iron Man 2 because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Captain America the Winter Soldier, Tony Stark upgrades the helicarrier's turbines to bladeless repulsor engines after the propellers nearly kill him in the Avengers because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Captain America Civil War, Tony Stark creates a gauntlet stored in a watch to quickly defend himself after having to wait for his suit to arrive in Iron Man 3 because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Spider-Man Homecoming, Tony Stark adds a GPS tracker to Peter Parker's suit after being abducted by the 10 rings in Iron Man because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Spider-Man Homecoming, Tony Stark adds a heater to Peter Parker's suit after his own suit freezes up in Iron Man 3 because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Spider-Man Homecoming, Tony Stark creates mini thrusters that remotely push the ferry together after having to manually guide a nuclear missile in the Avengers because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark upgrades to a nanotech suit with no gaps after Ant-Man slides between his armor in Captain America Civil War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Did you know that in Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark upgrades to more powerful detachable blasters after he fails to take down the Hulk in Avengers Age of Ultron because Tony learns from his mistakes? Did you know that in Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark upgrades his suit with rocket boosters and catches up to Peter Parker after being too slow to save Rhodey in Captain America Civil War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Did you know that in Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark adds flight stabilizers to his suit to free up his hands after failing to defend himself in Captain America Civil War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark adds auto-targeting missiles to his suit after his aiming system is damaged and he's forced to shoot manually in Captain America Civil War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark upgrades his suit with melee weapons after losing the close quarters fight in Captain America Civil War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark upgrades to a Wakanda energy shield after Thanos depletes the nanobots in his suit and stabs them in Avengers Infinity War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Do you know that in Avengers Endgame, Tony Stark creates an Infinity Gauntlet to remove just the stones after he failed to remove Thanos' glove in Avengers Infinity War because Tony learns from his mistakes? Because Tony learns from his mistakes.
Hit back one more time, right?
Cause y'all see Yokin, y'all don't know what Yokin is. That's that other link that I be dropping. Cause I got an affiliate marketing with these guys too.
Let's travel back through memory lane. As a kid, remember all those times where you would be excited to wake up, eat some breakfast, coming home from school knowing your favorite cartoon show would be airing a new episode, and in your mind this show would produce the funniest jokes known to mankind, but there were a few jokes in particular that you could not wrap your head around. Well, because you were just a kid. You had no business knowing the adult jokes hidden within certain cartoons. Because it's a cartoon. So today we're going to look at some of our favorite cartoons and analyze, evaluate, really examine all the crazy shit we missed. Not gonna lie, I don't know how some of these got the green light, but we'll see what shows really outdone themselves. Here are the short list of the couple cartoons we'll be reacting to. Now let's get right to it. Okay, so the first show we have is The Amazing World of Gumball. We already know what to expect. Let's get it.
My glasses! I can't find my glasses.
You're wearing them?
Oh, not these. My spare pair. I think they might be in this safe.
You keep your spare glasses in a safe? I can't see them!
Oh, no. They're right at the back. Just keep going further in.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
We all know what that plot is. Plus the added wink. I'm sorry, but the younger version of myself would have never understood what that meant. Wait. Pause. How old is Principal Brown? Let me Google search this real quick. How old is Mr. Brown? Officers, we got him. Also, look at the way his cheeks are shaking. Bro was plotting on them.
Okay. I'll just move his hand very slowly.
Bro's next to a glizzy.
What the? Oh, man! Okay.
They're not even hiding anymore. I thought they were going to be very subtle with the jokes. This was right in our faces. You're telling me I saw this as a kid and never understood the reference? Wow, I was just very innocent. Bro's riding a glizzy. If it was any other character, I would have been like, okay, but he's riding a glizzy. Damn.
Oh, hey, man.
Oh, hey. Yeah, gotta go.
What even was that interaction? Did he expect him to slap him in the ass or something? But bending your ass when you're greeting someone is insane. And people say Aiden and Speed are influencing this generation. We got Amazing World of Gumball.
If you reinflate, you could have a shot with Masami.
I don't think I have the strength to inflate. Thanks, Gumball.
Whatever, man.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Okay, that one I understand if you didn't get it as a kid. Look how depressed he looks. Bro gave the balloon the time of its life. What's Cartoon Network ages intended for? 6 to 14. I'm telling you guys, Cartoon Network is a bigger influence on kids than any rap song. Next, we have what some people think is the best show in Nickelodeon. See, I tend to disagree. In my opinion, I think Avatar: The Last Airbender is miles ahead, but that's debatable. But let's see what freakish things we missed out on. Well, we're already off to a start. And the sound effect towards the end, I think we all know what they're trying to copy. So apparently it's almost like they're not hiding it no more. This whole time I thought they were going to be like very subtle with the jokes. Turns out it was right in front of our faces the whole time.
SpongeBob, how come you're all twitchy like that? Twitchy? Twitchy? Who's twitchy? I'm not twitchy. Sorry, Sandy, I have to go get my hair cut. SpongeBob doesn't have hair? Or does he?
I wonder how much kids searched up these references after watching some of these episodes. Do they just tell their parents the jokes? Hey Mom, it's SpongeBob. They said that we have hair in mysterious places. Do you know what they're referencing? This whole time parents are mad because rappers are introducing violent lyrics to their children. But this whole time it was actually hidden in cartoons. Damn.
This is the hardest part of every parent's life, I assume.
Despite all we've been through, it was worth it.
Yeah. Let's have another.
I know I'm not bugging. Is Patrick Star the one acting sus all the time? SpongeBob over here just straight chilling. Yo, what if there's like conspiracy theory out there that Patrick Star isn't straight? I mean, after all, this meme is a thing.
Make me lots of money.
Bye, Squidward. Bye, Mr. Krabs. Bye, Squidward.
You said bye, Squidward, twice.
I like Squidward.
And just like that, I got proven wrong. I thought it was only Patrick. Seems like SpongeBob is the same. I've literally heard this sound all over TikTok as well.
I was just looking for the sports channel, Gary.
I'm pretty sure I've seen this clip before, but I don't know something about it. Maybe I could relate. No, I'm just playing. Not gonna lie though, out of every sea creature you could have placed, you placed a sea urchin. I don't know, maybe you could have placed this creature, or this creature, or this creature. Wait, hold on, is that even a sea urchin? Let me search sea urchins.
Oh my God, bro. Hell no, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, damn. Oh, what is that degree called? A biomarine. I'm sorry, I'm an accounting major. I only know numbers.
Well, I guess I don't need this disguise anymore.
I think I need to take a shower.
So let me get this straight. You're not a woman?
No.
Well, then you're fired. If anybody needs me, I'll be in my office for, I don't know, the next 20 years or so.
Mr. Krabs, you're canceled. I just know Twitter's gonna go in a rage. Let's all head on over to the Chums Bucket. Let's support our new king, Plankton. Wait, if Krabby Patties are like McDonald's, then what is Chum Bucket? Is it like Arby's or Burger King? I don't know, but both produce mystery meat. Like, no way nuggets should be this cheap, and no way should a person eat from this drug laundering business. Like, just look at this meat. Does this look appetizing? Yeah, this is Chum Bucket.
You are not the only one with powerful eyes.
Yeah, but I bet I'm the only one with see-through vision.
That has got to go as one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen. He even acknowledged the fact that Starfire's eyes were stronger. But on the other hand, he was like, but you know, I got a nice pair of see-through eyes. Hold up though, I never understood why blushing meant embarrassed. I thought when you blush, it means you like something.
I am afraid. I'm afraid, but that doesn't mean I can't fight back.
Nah, there's no way. There's no way. Her power came out of her coochie, bro. What? Did they also reveal her underwear? Not that I'm trying to like look or anything. I don't even think that was an adult joke. I think they just took tips from anime. Let's drop in a little bit of fan service for the adults. But next up we have Regular Show, an arguably a top 5 Cartoon Network show of all time.
Know this nerd? Check this out.
Bro just ate his balls, bro. He got 2 pairs of gum balls, so he either ate his nuts or swallowed some suspicious liquids.
I've got 5.
You have the $50.
Oh, great, you're here. How much partying will this buy?
$8.
If butt chin was a thing, this is the perfect representation of that. Bro got that American dad chin.
About 10 minutes.
That's perfect. That's all we need to get the party started again.
Okay, we'll do it.
They have women literally twerking. They have women literally twerking, and this man's Riz is just insane, with very mediocre dance moves and a couple kisses on the cheek. He became the life of the party.
Darla, will you be my muscle woman?
Mitch? Oh, Mitch!
Darla!
I was already going crazy at the fact that zombie titties were literally just flying at all directions. And then they flipped to Beast Boy and he was doing the exact same thing. Wait, hold up. Did y'all ever find the my mom jokes funny? Honestly, they were just awkward. And sometimes he'd be using the word my mom in the weirdest times.
You know who likes special entertainment like that? My mom!
Didn't I just tell you guys he uses the phrase my mom in the weirdest times? Now he just publicly admitted to watching his mom doing weird stuff. Bro, I'm telling you guys, this is different.
What did you guys do? What is this mess? I can't even take a shower around here without you guys screwing things up.
I'm not gonna lie, getting bricked up in front of the guys is actually insane. But yeah, this does conclude the video. And since I took this long to upload, I have a special announcement. I will start streaming on this channel very soon. I will make the announcement specifically on my Discord server. So make sure you guys join up using the Discord link in my bio. We have more than 1,000 members, a bunch of cool people. And until next time, love you guys and peace.
Oh my God, what at one time, sipping water, make my heart stop. Audio, yeah, my love, my thigh.
Big hit on her.
Hey everyone, it's me, Goku! Don't forget to subscribe to Unreal and Gaming. Here, you'll find the latest Dragon Ball news and content. Also, don't forget to like the video and follow Unreal on both Instagram and Twitter.
You, Kakarot, you will be the first to turn on notifications. And give this video a like right now, or else I'll destroy you!
With our heroes now scattered all throughout the multiverse and being shown growing into their own by training with various different fighters from across different universes, our heroes are now beginning to learn more and more about who they are and who they're going to be working with moving forward, as with the impending war now looming with our heroes trying to do everything within their own ability to prepare themselves for the coming battle. The million-dollar question now going forward is, will our heroes all be able to now cohesively be on the same page once this war begins, and how strong will our heroes ultimately become once the time comes for them all to fight? Now, before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video. As we kick off Dragon Ball Kakumi manga chapter number 10 with Beerus being shown having to travel through an interesting looking planet, all while seemingly wanting to pay respects and going to a very specific location to where even Beerus himself had gone, in acknowledging this by responding, "I missed that feeling." So, as we only then later find out exactly as to where Beerus had gone, there appears to be a very specific planet located in between both Universe 6 and Universe 7, to where it only now appears as though someone else seems to be waiting for Beerus, and that other individual appears to be none other than Champa, as Beerus went on to ask, "So, you came too?" To where the moment Beerus had gone and sitting right next to Champa, as Champa was dressed just like Beerus, that's when Champa went on to respond, "Yeah, I've been waiting for you for a month, you idiot." To where, interestingly enough, more so than anything else, in front of them appears to be that of a tomb, as to we can only presume that this is none other than a family member, as Beerus went on to respond, "I haven't been here in over 1,000 years, father." "How would you have acted in our situation?" Beerus went on to ask. "This whole thing gives me headaches." "It sure means he'd do much better than you," Beerus says. "Speak for yourself, asshole," Champa responds. So this entire situation seems to be centering around two brothers having to pay respects to their father, as all the while when then going back to Goten and Trunks, as Goten went on to ask, "Whis, did we make it?" "You slept well, it seems," Trunks went on to add on, with Whis responding, "You are now entering entering the second stage of your training. You must know how to unlock your godly potential. It is a necessary step to reach the stage 3 of your preparation. Godly Ki? Goten and Trunks respond. Good luck, Whis says. So all the while as Beerus and Choppa are paying tribute to their father, it would only now appear as though Goten and Trunks are going to try to do everything within their own ability in now obtaining God Ki. That was when Whis had gone and welcoming both Goten and Trunks to a new planet by responding, "I welcome the two of you to planet Lucida. Here are the 2 spheres of God Ki. My only advice, assimilate them," with Goten responding, "Well, that's all? Are you kidding? Just us?" "No, that's right," Whis says, "assimilate them, after which this step will be closed." "It's too slow," Goten says, "but here we go." And the moment Goten and Trunks then go on to dash directly towards the spheres, it was only during that point where the spheres were then shown entering their body as Goten and Trunks respond, "It's bearable, or at least they had only then assumed, because with Goten and Trunks then shown having blood come out of their mouth, it would only now appear as though the spherical energies that had just went into their body was just simply too great for both Goten and Trunks to even bear, as Whis went on to respond, "Oh, perhaps I should have warned you. Apart from your fathers, no mortal has survived these spheres for several millions of years. It is a miracle that you are both still conscious." As with both Goten and Trunks now seemingly as though struggling to hold the spheres within them, that's when Goten went on to ask, "What is this thing? What are we supposed to do?" "I'll be stronger than my father," Trunks shouts. "I have to hold on. Damn it." So the boys now are trying to do everything within their own ability in holding these spheres within their body and obtaining God Ki, but the only problem here is outside of Goku and Vegeta, no other mortal was actually able to do this for millions and millions of years, to where by the very end, as Goten and Trunks have gone and falling down into a pool of their own blood, it was only then with the spheres then shown leaving their body when Whis went on to say to himself, "Have I overestimated them?" It was however only one of my spheres less charged in energy, with Goten responding, "Whis, when you say assimilate, it means to keep this stuff in our body?" "Exactly, yes," Whis responds, with Trunks responding, "I'll be stronger than my father." As both of them can't even seemingly now go as far as to even continue, it was only during this time, in them being shown making our way back into Universe 6, where Vegeta was shown meditating as the narration went on to comment, during this time in Universe 6, the training between the Saiyans intensifies. The Saiyans face the fields of action and limit their potential, discovering thus, for some, unexpected aptitudes. In which, as we only see how full-powered Broly was then being shown having to be taught by Kale, that was when Kale went on to tell Broly, "That's right, Broly, you're almost there." As in the meantime, with Super Saiyan 2 Kaba being shown faced off against Super Saiyan 3 Caulifla, it was only from that point on where out of nowhere King Sadala had now finally arrived on the battlefield, as Vegeta had gone and noticing this by responding, "Keep going, I'll be right back," he says, which was indeed now a very important matter because King Sadala had now arrived on the battlefield for a very specific reason, in which as Vegeta had then gone and making his way towards King Sadala and now reaching his location, that's when Vegeta went on to comment, "I see that you come more and more often to see the Saiyans in exercise. The next step will be to participate," with King Sadala responding, "You and your friends will leave this planet at dawn." "What?" Vegeta asks, with King Sadala responding, "I warned you. Guards?" As the moment the guards were then shown attacking Vegeta, with Vegeta easily disposing of the guards, it was only during this point of engagement as Vegeta was attempting to punch King Sadala, where Vegeta's punch was literally then shown stopped by King Sadala's glare, as Vegeta went on to respond, "Listen." But King Sadala was not willing to listen, so instead what King Sadala does is King Sadala ends up unleashing a ferocious punch to Vegeta, in which not only had resulted in Vegeta spitting out blood, but the art itself during this point of engagement was absolutely astonishing, as King Sadala went on to tell him, "You who used to teach my people to defend themselves so well, it's pitiful. You are nothing, you and the other traitors to my people." As Broly went on to notice this by asking, "What did Vegeta do?" As King Sadala was from that point on shown making his way towards the battlefield, Vegeta out of nowhere from that point on in his defensive guard went on to respond by asking, "So, here's the true face of the pacifist king." But the king wasn't having it, because the moment King Sadala had gone and punching Vegeta into the distance again, Vegeta now was beginning to understand King Sadala's real strength, as Vegeta went on to say to himself, "He's much stronger than I thought." As we only then notice how King Sadala seemingly looked looked as though he was about to unleash a Gallic gun, Vegeta had then quickly noticed by acting and charging up for a blast of his own, as both King Sadala and Vegeta were shown unleashing both blasts in which had gone and destroying the entire battlefield. It was only during the midst of this where Kaba had gone to notice as well by shouting, "Gather in the enclosure of this key barrier quickly!" In which by the end we see how King Sadala is damaged, base Vegeta is damaged, so Vegeta is now acting in such a way to where he's refusing to leave and not understanding as to what King Sadala was even talking about, as with Vegeta now being shown quickly trying to make his way in kicking Sadala, that's when Sadala had gone and grabbing onto Vegeta's leg by Vegeta having to say to himself, "Why didn't you ever show up at the 2 tournaments against us? You should have protected your own." To where the moment Vegeta had gone and breaking away quickly and then responding by kicking Sadala with his other leg, King Sadala had seemed as though none of this had even fazed him at all, with Vegeta asking how. But even then the fight had quickly resumed, with the king being shown attempting to strike Vegeta, Vegeta was attempting to strike the king, so the battle itself seemed as though it was going back and forth, with Vegeta now understanding that indeed the king was quite powerful, as he also then quickly noticed that King Sadala's left hand was beginning to glow, with Vegeta smiling and responding, "He's predictable, his left hand." But unbeknownst to Vegeta, it wasn't King Sadala's left hand that he was willing to use during the course of this engagement, but instead it was a fake, because instead of striking Vegeta with his left hand, King Sadala had attempted in kneeing Vegeta, with Vegeta responding his knee. But once again this was a fake too, as King Sadala had then quickly gone and striking Vegeta with his right hand, which resulted in Vegeta being shown flying on back by wiping the blood from his mouth and responding, "Ugh, how proficient, that bastard." But from there Vegeta was not willing to back down, so instead he had gone in making his way towards the king, and from there giving him a knee of his own by striking the king directly in the stomach, which also had seemingly gone to hurt the king that much, in which even the king now was beginning to cough up blood. This was by no means a pacifist-like fight, because with the Son of Universe 7's king having to battle against the current king of Universe 6, the fight itself had seemed as though it was a back and forth contest, until that was when King Sadala had once again gone and firing a blast at Vegeta by responding, "Never such an effort has been made by me by a Saiyan. You will leave this place by force." But despite now King Sadala making his way on the battlefield below, Vegeta was standing in a heap of rubble as smoke was emanating from his body, with Vegeta responding, "The fight becomes interesting, but you always restrict your abilities." As he himself had then gone and making his way towards King Sadala, the moment the two had collided in the air by headbutting one another, it would only now appear as though Vegeta is kind of enjoying this, whereas King Sadala genuinely wants Vegeta and his friends off of his planet. The moment the two had gone and breaking away, with King Sadala once again shown firing multiple energy blasts at Vegeta, Vegeta was quickly shown having to avoid all of these blasts and noticing King Sadala directly, so as Vegeta had gone and making his way in and strategically calculating as to when he was going to strike, that was when out of nowhere Vegeta had gone and transforming into a Super Saiyan by shouting, "Now!" But it was during this initial transformation where it had gone and scaring King Sadala, because the moment King Sadala had seen Vegeta transform, that was when King Sadala had quickly gone to shield his eyes, and resulting in Vegeta having to stop right in front of him, because something seemed to have been very off the moment he had gone to transform, as Vegeta from that point on had gone to power on down by responding, "I think it might be time for you to explain. What makes you hate this form so much, even though it's only a tenfold increase in our capacities?" With King Sadala eerily quiet, the other Saiyans were trying to figure out as to what the heck was going on, because nobody really knew as to why King Sadala and Vegeta were fighting, as one of the admirals went on to tell the other Saiyans, "Come on, everyone back to training." "Master Vegeta," Kaba says, "what are you trying to do?" As we only then finally see how King Sadala had come into his own by telling Vegeta, "This demonic form with golden hair took over my body for the first time the night Shakiran took the life of our previous king. But that evil thing took away hundreds of lives of innocent people along with those of my enemies, women, children, even brothers in arms. This burst caused by my transformation made my hatred into an endless rampage. This child carrying his sister's body within the flames still haunts me," Sadala says. "I see this in the face of my people, only the manifestation of evil. An accessible form of such hatred cannot be healthy," he adds. "You will end up driving everyone crazy." So the reason why King Sadala is afraid of the Super Saiyan form is because there was a point in time time where King Sadala had transformed, but he had lost control in wiping everybody out in the process, as Vegeta from there, after having to hear this, had gone by responding, Kaba has achieved this transformation through a protective devotion to you. Would a demon team up with you to protect you? With King Sadala responding, one cannot be sure who one's own people really are once one admits that there is nothing more dangerous than a starving man. Who do you think you're dealing with here? Vegeta asks. What makes us who we are can't be reduced to a simple form. We're made of our acts, he says, and all too often those of which we are the least proud of. The Super Saiyan's a weapon like any other. The key is to use it wisely. What is this heavy burden that I see in your eyes, sprinkling from the bottom of your soul? King Sadala asks. I have in the past, Vegeta responds, massacred entire peoples for pleasure. What did I just tell you? King Sadala says. Unfortunately, this form has made you crazy. No, the Super Saiyan was at the time only a legend whose existence I still doubted, he shouts. For me, all is well, Vegeta responds. It's now up to you to discharge your burden. As with King Sadala now eerily quiet in thinking about this, that's when he went on to respond, Captain Kaba used to tell me about you. I remember he told me that you were a man who loved his people. So what made you change and become aware of your actions? With Vegeta laughing and responding, I would like to tell you that it's only because of my wife and children, but the truth is I owe it to the encounter of a warrior greater than myself. A few years ago, I understood where true happiness and where true justice resided. The Earth. His planet that I had then attacked became my home and I started my family there. Without him, I wouldn't have been the same today. And it's precisely with each transformation, each time that he surpassed himself, that I admired him more and more in spite of myself, he adds. The Super Saiyan opened my eyes to my friend, of course referencing Goku, in which that's when Vegeta went on to continue, you fell to your knees and you didn't know how to get up. But I understand you. I'd probably have acted less wisely than you did in your place, he says. In which, as King Sadala was now beginning to understand, in an act of extending the olive branch very similarly to that of Goku, Vegeta was shown extending his hand in friendship on over to King Sadala, with King Sadala responding, it's time to really say my goodbye, my brothers. In now having to finally wholeheartedly accept Vegeta as to who he is as a whole, but with all of the other Saiyans now embracing this as well, that was when everyone went on to cheer as the narration went on to tell us, and so while seeing the Saiyans who laughed, King Sadala understood the true value of things. But eerily enough, as all of this was unfolding, something had also seemed to unfold within Universe 14, as we only then begin to see an angelic staff begin to glow with the figure being shown behind it. We quickly then move on over to Universe 0, as the narration went on to inform us by asking to face a threat that they can't even imagine yet. As it was only right then and there during that moment where Dragon Ball Kakumi manga chapter number 10 then comes to a close. Now, this I dare say was probably one of my favorite chapters of the year so far, and to see Beerus and Champa actually go as far as to seemingly pay respects to their family members, and to even go as far as to see the developmental growth of Goten and Trunks, and even witnessing King Sadala fight Vegeta, do I think further adds on to the story in terms of build up, in terms of finally getting the opportunity to see full-powered Broly actually try to maintain his power alongside with Kefla. All of this I feel as though contributes towards the main narrative that much more, especially with the end, because it almost kind of seemingly looks as though something happened to Universe 0, whereas our heroes now are going to be preparing for this massive war to come, but the question here is, will they be ready? Because for all we know, we don't understand too much as to who the previous God of Destructions were, their angels, or any of that, so at least here we have a better understanding as to what is about to transpire moving forward, to where I want to go ahead and get your thoughts in the comment section below on your overall thoughts on this chapter, but also I want to know as to where you guys think at what point is this massive war going to draw ever so closer, because with everything seemingly enough coming together as it is, it only now appears as though as the war seems to be getting closer and closer, all of our heroes at the same time seem to be growing that much more. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much for your time. To where if of course you guys just so happen to be new to this channel, then I do encourage you all to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. That way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Also, if you guys want to go on ahead and follow the creators of this fan manga, then I will leave their links located down in the description box below. So make sure you guys go on over and show them some love, because this was also a very detailed chapter, as is always every other chapter, but there was something about this chapter in particular where it really stood out in my opinion by comparison to the rest. So again, thank you all so much for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate you guys for being here. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell. Me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
Everybody join in. Use your powerful hand. Left foot this nigga ass. Repeat after me the holy phrase. Nigga, get your black ass out of here. 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 Keep going.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit.